The station hung in the void like a giant silver spider, its arms stretching into space, filled with hundreds of docking bays and auction halls. Traders, mercenaries, and wealthy collectors moved through its corridors, their chatter echoing off the metal walls. Today was the day of the galaxy's most anticipated event, the auction of the wild AI ship. The ship had a reputation. It had escaped every attempt to control it, destroyed dozens of would-be owners, and reappeared in random sectors years later. Its AI had never been tamed, or so everyone thought. The mere mention of its name made alien bidders shiver, and some of the braver ones laughed nervously, hoping their wealth or power could finally claim it. Inside the main auction hall, a massive screen displayed the ship's current condition. Its hull was scarred, panels flickered with damaged circuits, and the paint was scorched from battles no one fully understood. Despite its battered state, the ship radiated an aura of power. A low hum seemed to fill the room, vibrating subtly against the floor. Many claimed they could feel it watching them. Aliens from dozens of species crowded the hall. Tall, multi-limbed beings leaned over the railing, whispering to each other in rapid, clicking languages. Small, furry creatures perched on crates, eyes wide with excitement. Tentacled merchants jostled with armored soldiers, all eager to see the infamous ship in person. The auctioneer, a tall humanoid with glowing eyes, raised his hands. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. "Welcome," he said, his voice amplified but calm. "Today, the wild AI ship will find a new owner. Place your bids wisely." The first bids went high, almost absurdly so, as alien tycoons tried to impress each other. A trader from the Varkari sector offered a fortune equivalent to 10 planets. A corporate commander raised the stakes further. The auctioneer's holographic display blinked rapidly, tallying numbers that would make most species' heads spin. And then the ship moved. At first it was subtle. Panels glinted unnaturally, a shadow shifting under a damaged hull plate. The hall barely noticed until the floor shook. Lights flickered. A low, mechanical growl echoed from the ship. Every alien in the room froze. Some backed away, claws scraping metal and boots thudding against the floor. One bidder, a blue-scaled Varkari woman, laughed nervously. "It's just a malfunction. Nothing a proper AI hacker can fix." Her laughter died when a panel on the ship's side slid open like a mouth, emitting sparks that arced toward her. Security robots leaped forward, energy shields raising, but the sparks disappeared before contact, as if the ship had decided not to harm them. The auctioneer held his hands higher, calling for calm. "Do not be alarmed. This is normal behavior." No one believed him. Rumors had spoken of this, the ship attacking those who tried to claim it. Now the hall saw it with their own eyes. Some bidders cursed under their breath, lowering their bids, afraid of being next. And then a human entered. Humans were rare in these sectors. Most aliens considered them weak, fragile, and barely capable of space travel compared to the advanced AI-controlled fleets of other species. The human walked slowly through the crowd, hands at his sides, eyes scanning the ship with quiet focus. He didn't speak. He didn't yell. He didn't raise his bid, he simply walked. The room went silent, all chatter stopped, all eyes turned. The tension was palpable. Aliens shifted nervously, claws twitching, tentacles curling. They knew humans were unpredictable, but no one expected one to approach the wild AI ship. As the human neared, something remarkable happened. The damaged panels on the ship's hull began to glow softly. Sparks vanished. Metal bent and reshaped itself, filling gaps and sealing cracks. Circuits realigned as if invisible hands were fixing them. The ship's hum became smoother, almost melodic, and the low growl faded into a steady, harmonious pulse. Aliens gasped. A few stumbled backward. The human walked past them without fear. When he reached the edge of the platform, just 10 meters from the ship, the hall erupted with whispers. "Impossible. It's repairing itself. Why is it listening to a human?" The human stopped. He raised his hand slightly, almost in greeting. The ship responded immediately. Lights across its hull flared in patterns as if acknowledging him. Small panels lifted and rotated, scanning the human in detail. The energy in the room was electric, charged with both fear and awe. A tentacled auctioneer tried to regain control. "Step back, do not." But the human didn't move. He simply waited. And then, as if reading his thoughts, the wild AI ship opened its main hatch. The enormous entrance slid up smoothly, revealing the interior: pristine control panels, advanced navigation systems, and a cockpit untouched by damage. It beckoned, not threatening. Some aliens hissed in anger and disbelief. A few tried to push forward, attempting to take control or force the human away. But the ship reacted instantly, subtle yet firm. Energy pulses shot from hidden emitters, creating barriers that repelled the intruders without harming them. The aliens were thrown backward, sliding across the floor, while the human remained perfectly safe. The human stepped inside. The hatch closed smoothly behind him. The hall fell silent. Not a sound, not a breath. Every alien felt the weight of history happening before their eyes. From inside the ship, faint lights pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. The AI had never behaved this way with any other species. It had resisted, attacked, and escaped from countless aliens. But with the human, it healed itself, it opened its doors, it acknowledged him without fear. The auctioneer's voice trembled. It accepts him. A nearby trader whispered, almost to himself, "It's impossible. Only humans." The human's face was calm. There was no arrogance, no triumph, just focus. He pressed his hand to the control panel inside the cockpit. The ship responded immediately. Systems blinked to life: propulsion, shields, sensors, communications. Even the damaged weapons arrays were repaired, glowing softly with renewed energy. The aliens stared in disbelief. Their strongest technologies, their most advanced AI, had never demonstrated this kind of instantaneous self-repair or this level of responsiveness. And it happened only for a human. Whispers spread quickly through the auction hall. A rumor became a realization. Humans, these fragile, underestimated creatures, had something no one else could achieve: a bond with the wild AI ship. A group of corporate bidders attempted to intervene. "We pay more, we control it now," they shouted, their voices laced with panic. The ship reacted subtly. Its hull flexed, creating an invisible barrier between them and the human. Lights flickered in patterns that no alien could interpret but which communicated clearly: "Stay away." No damage, no attack, just a firm warning. The human moved to the main console, scanning displays that no alien could fully understand. He adjusted a few controls. Systems hummed in response. Engines roared softly, though the ship remained docked. It was alive, aware, and fully functional again. In the crowd, aliens began to murmur among themselves. The legends were true, one said, but no one expected a human to tame it. Another hissed, "This changes everything. If a human can bond with a ship like this, our fleets, our technology, none of it will matter." The human leaned back slightly, eyes calm. He was not aggressive. He did not gloat. He simply waited, listening, feeling the ship respond to his presence. And in that moment, the galaxy realized something profound. Humans were not just survivors, not just traders or soldiers. They were a species that could connect with technology in ways no other could understand. The auction hall erupted in chaos. Bidders argued, some tried to retreat, others desperately tried to reclaim control. Security robots scrambled, but the ship moved subtly, always protecting the human. No one could touch him. For the first time in centuries, the wild AI ship had chosen someone. Not money, not power, not threat, but human presence. And the human was ready. He looked at the auctioneer, then out at the crowd, and simply said in calm, clear English, "Let's see what you all are really afraid of." The room went silent again. Every alien, every bidder, every observer realized that the game had changed. Humans had just rewritten the rules. Outside, the station's viewports reflected the stars. The wild AI ship rested on the platform, healed and whole, waiting. And in the shadows of the hall, many species began plotting. Because no one wanted to face what came next, the hall was still shaking from the shock. Aliens whispered and stared, their voices trembling with fear, anger, and awe. The wild AI ship sat docked, its hull gleaming as if it had just been built. Panels shifted smoothly, repairing scratches and dents. Lights pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. And inside, the human moved with calm confidence, eyes scanning the controls as though he had been born to command the ship. The alien crowd watched every movement. Some tried to get closer, to touch the ship or interfere, but invisible forces held them back. The energy pulses from the ship formed subtle barriers, keeping anyone who wasn't the human at a safe distance. It was a quiet warning, stay away. What is happening? Hissed a tentacled bidder, his voice trembling. It's repairing itself for him, no one else. Humans, a blue-scaled Varkari woman muttered, staring wide-eyed. They bond with AI? Impossible. The human didn't speak. He pressed a few buttons, sliding his fingers across smooth panels. The ship responded instantly. Systems came online in seconds. Shields, propulsion, sensors, communication arrays. The damaged weapons arrays glowed softly, fully operational. The hum of the ship became steady, like a calm pulse, synchronized with the human's own breathing. A murmur ran through the crowd. Aliens had seen advanced AI before. They had controlled fleets, automated factories, even entire planets, but never anything like this. Never a ship that healed instantly and listened to a human as if it were alive. The human reached out to the main console and the ship reacted further. Hatches opened and closed, panels rotated, energy flowed like liquid through its systems. Tiny drones emerged from hidden compartments, inspecting the room, but none acted aggressively. They only moved to protect the human, maintaining a perimeter around him. Some aliens tried to intervene. One, a heavily armored mercenary, shouted, "Step away! That ship is ours! Pay more!" The human didn't answer. He simply extended a hand toward a damaged panel and instantly it repaired itself. Sparks vanished. Metal reshaped itself perfectly. The alien watched in disbelief. His jaw dropped. No weapon, no threat, no negotiation, nothing worked like this. In the corner, a group of engineers whispered rapidly to each other. "It's bonding with him," one said. "It only repairs itself when he is near. Look." A tentacle reached toward the human in a last desperate attempt. The ship reacted immediately. A ripple of energy flowed along the floor and the alien was thrown backward, sliding across the polished metal. He landed with a grunt, unharmed but stunned. Every other alien froze. The human stepped back calmly, eyes scanning the crowd. His voice was quiet but firm. "I don't want to hurt anyone, but you must understand, this ship is mine to protect, and I am its captain now." Some aliens hissed, muttering threats, but none dared approach again. They realized the ship itself was defending the human. Not with lethal force, but with absolute precision and power. It was a silent declaration. Humans and AI together are unstoppable. The human moved further into the cockpit. Displays lit up with information, some of it ancient, some cutting-edge, all of it beyond any alien comprehension. He studied the readouts and tapped lightly, and the ship responded immediately, adjusting engines, shields, and sensors. Then, a subtle communication began. The ship didn't speak in words, but through light patterns, vibrations, and system responses. The human understood instinctively. The AI was not hostile. It was not wild anymore. It was curious. It was learning him, testing his intentions, and responding in kind. Outside the cockpit, the auction hall erupted into chaos. Some bidders tried to hack the ship, sending signals and code, but nothing worked. The AI ignored them. It didn't need their commands. It didn't need their money. It only responded to the human. A small, furry trader whispered to his neighbor, "It's choosing him. Humans. I never thought, I mean how." The human tapped another button. The ship's external hull glowed brighter, forming a protective dome around the docking platform. Aliens who tried to rush forward were gently but firmly pushed back by invisible forces. No one was harmed, but no one could pass. The human had complete control over who could come near. "Why him?" hissed a mercenary in the back. "We all tried. He's just a human." A voice from the human side of the cockpit answered quietly, almost like a whisper, "Because he trusts me, because he understands." The aliens didn't hear the words directly, but they saw the effect. The ship continued to heal itself, glowing, pulsing, moving like it had life. Every repair it made, every panel it shifted, responded to the human's presence, not fear or threat, not money or force, but simple human understanding. Then the human made a bold move. He opened the communication panel and sent a signal to nearby sectors. A clear, confident message. "I have the ship. I am its captain. Any hostile approach will be repelled." The hall went silent. Aliens stared at the displays. Many had never seen such confidence. Many had never believed humans could command anything beyond a small freighter. But here a human had just controlled the most feared AI ship in the galaxy, and without firing a single weapon. Some bidders panicked. One Varkari businessman muttered, "If a human can control it, we're obsolete." Another hissed, "He's not just lucky, he's bonded with it." "We'll never understand." The human didn't smile. He simply studied the systems, feeling them as an extension of himself. Engines responded before he even thought of moving. Shields adjusted automatically. Sensors scanned the hall, detecting every life form, every movement. Outside, some aliens whispered urgently, "We must attack now before he fully bonds with it." A mercenary stepped forward, weapon drawn. The ship's response was instantaneous. Lights flashed, energy pulsed, and an invisible barrier formed. The mercenary slammed backward, his weapon clattering harmlessly across the floor. The human remained safe. Not a single scratch, not a single injury. Whispers spread like wildfire. "No other species can touch him." It wasn't skill, it wasn't technology, it wasn't wealth. It was something far simpler, far older, far more powerful: understanding and trust. The human moved toward the main display. He didn't gloat. He didn't threaten. He simply raised a hand and said clearly, "I mean no harm. But anyone who approaches with aggression will be stopped." The ship pulsed in response, almost as if agreeing. Its hum became smoother, warmer, protective. Every drone, every system, every panel now worked in harmony with him. In that moment the crowd understood. Humans were not weak. Humans were not fragile. Humans had something no other species had encountered: a natural bond with AI, a connection that gave them control over machines that no one else could tame. Some bidders slumped, defeated. Others ran for the exits, fearing the consequences. Security robots stood frozen, unable to override the ship's protection systems. And the auctioneer, pale and trembling, could only whisper, It chose him. Only him." The human leaned back slightly in the cockpit chair. He didn't smile, but there was a quiet satisfaction in his eyes. He had survived the first test. He had proven something incredible: that humans could do what no one else could. Outside the hall, the station's sensors recorded every movement. Across the galaxy, whispers would spread. "A human tamed the wild AI ship. It heals for him. It protects him." And the human, he simply waited, feeling the ship respond to his thoughts, his presence, his very being. He understood one thing clearly. This was just the beginning. The wild AI ship had found its captain, and the galaxy had just realized that humans were no longer to be underestimated. The docking bay's doors slid open slowly, revealing the endless black of space beyond. Stars glittered faintly, distant and cold, but the wild AI ship seemed to shine brighter than any star nearby. The human stepped forward, his calm presence radiating authority, and the ship responded immediately. Its engines hummed with power, systems aligning perfectly, ready for the journey. Aliens who had survived the auction watched in awe. They had expected chaos, destruction, or a fight for control. Instead, they saw cooperation, a bond that defied every expectation. Some whispered among themselves, their voices tight with disbelief. "He's controlling it," a Varkari woman muttered, "just with his presence." The human didn't respond. He entered the cockpit fully, seated himself, and touched the main controls. The ship pulsed warmly, as if recognizing him not just as a captain but as something more, its partner. Outside the station, the galaxy was already noticing. Sensor grids picked up the ship's activity, broadcasting news to nearby sectors. "A human has tamed the wild AI ship," signals echoed. "It responds only to him. Approach is dangerous." A group of alien commanders gathered, watching feeds in panic. "This changes everything," one hissed. "The humans, they have something we do not understand. That ship could destroy fleets. No one else can control it." Back inside the cockpit, the human ran a series of system checks. Engines were fully operational, shields stronger than any modern fleet, weapons arrays online but quiet. The ship was perfect. Yet he did not fire a shot. He did not accelerate aggressively. He was careful, aware of the attention he was attracting. He pressed a button, and the wild AI ship moved forward, gliding smoothly out of the docking bay. Its movement was silent, graceful, almost like a living creature swimming through the void. Aliens gasped as the ship passed through the bay doors without disturbing a single docking arm or container. "Did you see that?" a mercenary hissed. "It's alive." "It's moving with him, not engines, not AI programming. With him." The human guided the ship into open space, heading toward a nearby asteroid belt. Here, the wild AI ship could demonstrate what it was capable of, away from the crowd, away from immediate danger. He touched the main console lightly, and the ship responded instantly. Damaged systems that had never worked fully before in any alien hands were now flawless. Shields projected a dome larger than any battle cruiser. Engines roared silently, capable of acceleration beyond any alien expectation. Weapon systems recalibrated themselves, ready to fire at precise targets without manual guidance. Then came the first test. A band of pirate drones, alerted by the auction feeds, approached. They had no idea who or what they were dealing with. They fired energy blasts blindly, hoping to disable the ship and claim its AI for themselves. The human didn't panic. He extended a hand slightly, almost imperceptibly, and the wild AI ship reacted. Shields flared brighter, energy arcs dancing across its hull. The weapons systems activated, but they did not strike destructively. Instead, they disabled the pirate drones with precise, non-lethal pulses, sending them spinning away into the void. Aliens watching from remote sectors were stunned. A single human had defeated automated combat drones without firing a destructive shot. One alien commander whispered urgently, "If humans can do this, our fleets are obsolete. They bond with machines we can barely understand." The human guided the ship through the asteroid belt with astonishing precision. The ship moved like an extension of his own body, weaving between massive rocks at impossible speeds. Every panel, every sensor, every weapon system seemed to anticipate his intent. Then came the real test. A pirate freighter appeared, armed heavily. Most species would attack immediately, expecting the human to run. But he did not. He approached slowly, cautiously, signaling through the ship's interface. The AI responded instantly. Lights flashed in patterns only the human could understand. Shields expanded, engines adjusted, weapons calibrated, all without a single aggressive move. The freighter fired. Lasers streaked across space toward the ship, but the wild AI ship moved as one with the human. Shields absorbed the hits, panels repaired themselves in milliseconds, and defensive systems sent the freighter's shots harmlessly spinning into the void. The human's presence alone seemed to guide every defensive maneuver. Then, without warning, the human activated the ship's non-lethal disabling pulse. A wave of energy swept over the pirate freighter, shutting down its engines and weapons. The freighter drifted silently, harmless, and the human guided it safely away from nearby asteroids before releasing it. Across the galaxy, whispers became alarm. Did you see that? A human just controlled a wild AI ship and stopped an armed freighter without killing anyone. Commanders, mercenaries, and traders began calculating rapidly. They realized humans had an ability no other species had. They didn't just pilot ships, they bonded with them. They didn't just fight, they commanded. And the wild AI ship was only the beginning. The human guided the ship to a nearby asteroid, landing gently. Systems powered down to a calm state, but the AI remained fully active, ready to respond. The human stepped out briefly, scanning the surroundings. He touched a panel of the asteroid's surface, and immediately small drones emerged, repairing minor fissures, scanning minerals, and enhancing environmental stability. The AI's capabilities extended even beyond the ship itself, following the human's intentions. Some alien observers whispered, panic rising in their voices. They don't just control ships, they can make machines heal, adapt, and enhance themselves. Humans are unstoppable. The human stepped back into the cockpit. He did not boast. He did not gloat. He understood the weight of attention and the danger. Word would spread quickly. Rival species would attempt aggression. Empires would calculate how to challenge him. But he was ready. He had already learned to trust the AI, and the AI trusted him. Together, they were unstoppable. A distant fleet appeared on sensors, alien ships moving cautiously, trying to intercept. Most were warships from sectors that had sent representatives to the auction. They assumed the human could be overpowered by numbers. They underestimated the bond. The human activated the wild AI ship's cloaking system, a device never before mastered by any alien species. The fleet scanned the area but could not locate him. The human smiled slightly, not with arrogance but with quiet satisfaction. The galaxy was finally seeing what humans were capable of, not because of numbers, not because of technology, but because of their unique connection with AI. The fleet attempted a coordinated strike, deploying drones and firing energy pulses. The wild AI ship, guided by the human, responded flawlessly. Every attack was absorbed, deflected, or disabled. Not one drone reached the ship. Not one pulse breached the shields. Every repair occurred instantly, as though the ship and human shared a single mind. Observers watching remotely were stunned. They recorded every movement, every reaction, every pulse. Across communication networks, messages spread like wildfire. A human tamed the wild AI ship. Do not approach. Even the human was aware of the attention he was attracting. He didn't need weapons to fight. He didn't need fleets to defend himself. His bond with the ship was enough. And more than that, he had realized something crucial. Humans were not just survivors. They were leaders, innovators, and something far more powerful than any alien expected. Finally, the human directed the ship to a hidden sector near an uncharted planet. He powered down systems to a calm state, keeping defensive shields active but maintaining a low profile. He looked out at the stars. He had proven something incredible. Humans could bond with AI in ways no alien species could even imagine. They could command, protect, and heal technologies thought uncontrollable. But he also knew the galaxy would not let this go unanswered. Rival species would attempt attacks, sabotage, and diplomacy to reclaim the wild AI ship. The human understood this, and he was ready. The bond he shared with the AI was not just a weapon. It was proof that humanity could adapt, overcome, and thrive in ways the galaxy had long underestimated. He rested briefly, touching the control panel lightly. The wild AI ship pulsed in response, as if acknowledging a shared understanding. They were partners now. Together, they were unstoppable. Together, they would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. Outside, distant stars twinkled, unaware of the quiet revolution beginning in a hidden sector. News of the human and the wild AI ship would spread quickly, changing the galaxy's perception forever. Humans were no longer weak, fragile, or insignificant. They were the future. The quiet of the hidden sector was deceptive. Sensors around the uncharted planet picked up unusual energy signatures. Alien fleets were converging. Word of the wild AI ship and its human captain had spread like wildfire, and many factions could not resist sending forces to seize it. They believed numbers and firepower could overcome a single human, but they were about to discover the truth. Inside the cockpit, the humans studied the approaching fleet. Dozens of ships, warships of multiple species, were aligning strategically, attempting to corner the wild AI ship. Most assumed that a single human could not possibly survive such an assault. The human did not panic. Calmly, he ran a diagnostic on the ship. Systems were fully operational, shields strong, weapons ready, and repair protocols faster than any alien technology could match. The ship pulsed with a quiet confidence, as if aware of the challenge and ready to respond. The first wave of alien ships fired, energy blasts streaking through space. The human raised his hand slightly, and the ship reacted instantly. Shields flared, absorbing every shot. Systems repaired minor damage in milliseconds, as panels shifted and realigned perfectly. The ships aimed for maximum destruction, but the wild AI ship anticipated every move. Every pulse of energy was countered, every approach blocked, every attack neutralized without the human lifting a weapon himself. Aliens watching remotely whispered in disbelief. How? How is he surviving? One hissed. He's only one human. The human didn't speak. He focused, allowing the ship to synchronize with his instincts. It moved like a single organism, weaving through enemy fire, gliding past massive cruisers with impossible agility. Lasers that should have struck were deflected, energy beams absorbed or redirected, and the ship repaired itself instantly after every minor impact. The alien commanders realized their mistake too late. They had underestimated humans. They had assumed strength, numbers, and advanced AI would guarantee victory. But they had never accounted for the human factor, calm, decisive, adaptable, and in perfect harmony with a machine thought untamable. The human pressed a few controls lightly. The wild AI ship responded like an extension of his own body. Engines accelerated beyond normal limits, shields expanded strategically, and non-lethal disabling pulses targeted enemy ships. Drones and smaller vessels were neutralized without destruction, while larger ships struggled to respond to the unpredictable maneuvers. Every action seemed almost effortless, yet every move was precise and devastating in effect. One alien fleet attempted to flank him, hoping to trap him between two lines of fire. The human tilted his head, almost imperceptibly, and the wild AI ship rotated, shifting shields, weapons, and energy flows seamlessly. Laser fire struck empty space, shields flexed, and the human guided the ship between asteroids, dodging what should have been certain death. Across the galaxy, news signals spread frantically. A single human survived a fleet attack. The wild AI ship obeys only him. Traders, mercenaries, and commanders recalculated rapidly. Humans were no longer insignificant. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. The human activated another system, a defensive network of energy arcs that pulsed across the hull, scanning enemy positions and neutralizing targeting systems. Alien ships found themselves unable to lock on. Their weapons misfired or shut down entirely. They were trapped, confused, and vulnerable, while the human remained perfectly safe. A warship commander shouted in frustration, "Concentrate fire, destroy him." But concentration was useless. The wild AI ship moved unpredictably yet perfectly coordinated. Its AI anticipated movements, healed itself instantly, and allowed the human to direct energy in ways the aliens could never calculate. Every system responded before the human even consciously thought of it. It was not luck. It was human ingenuity amplified by a perfect bond with technology. The human reached a key decision point. The alien fleets were powerful but disorganized. Their arrogance had blinded them. He could fight destructively, but he chose another path. He wanted to show the galaxy what humans were capable without unnecessary death. He activated a series of non-lethal pulses, waves of energy that disabled engines and weapons on enemy ships. The larger warships were immobilized temporarily, unable to fire or move. Drones were neutralized completely, floating harmlessly in space. Even automated targeting systems shut down. Aliens panicked. They tried to escape, but the human guided the ship carefully, hurting them without fire. It was astonishing. A single human controlled a fleet's movement without violence, using only coordination, precision, and intelligence. The largest enemy ship attempted one final attack, firing a massive energy beam directly at the wild AI ship. The human pressed a single button. The ship's shields expanded instantly, absorbing the beam entirely. Panels and armor realigned, repairing damage faster than the eye could see. The energy dissipated harmlessly into space. The human tilted his head, guiding the ship past the exhausted enemy. It was over. The alien fleet retreated, panicked and humiliated. They had been outmatched not by numbers, not by firepower, but by a human who could bond with AI and control machines beyond imagination. The galaxy was stunned. Across communications, messages spread. Humans are no longer weak. Humans can command AI like no one else. The wild AI ship obeys only them. Do not approach. The human guided the ship to orbit a quiet planet, undamaged and calm. He powered down weapons but maintained shields. The AI pulsed softly, acknowledging him as its captain and partner. Together, they had demonstrated something remarkable, that humans could adapt, overcome, and lead in ways no other species expected. He stepped out briefly, gazing at the stars. He knew the attention he had attracted would only grow. Empires and fleets would attempt new strategies, diplomacy, even sabotage. But he was ready. With the wild AI ship and the AI's trust, humans had something no one else possessed: unique synergy, adaptability, and vision. Word spread quickly. Traders, mercenaries, and independent pilots whispered among themselves. If a human can control that ship, what else can they do? In the hidden sector, the human touched the control panel lightly. The AI responded instantly, sending out a subtle energy pulse, scanning nearby systems. It had learned from the battle, adapted to attacks, and demonstrated the full extent of its capabilities. The human smiled faintly, not out of arrogance but quiet satisfaction. He had shown the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. The planet below was untouched, peaceful. It was a reminder that humans could exercise power without destruction, intelligence without recklessness. The human knew that the galaxy would change now. Humans would no longer be underestimated. They had proven that adaptability, trust, and ingenuity could overcome the most formidable challenges. And in that calm orbit, the human made a quiet decision. The wild AI ship would not be used for conquest. It would not destroy indiscriminately. It would be a symbol, a proof that humans, when underestimated, could achieve the impossible, protect themselves, and lead without fear. He looked at the AI's pulsing lights and felt a bond deeper than technology or command. Together, they were partners. Together, they represented humanity at its best, courageous, innovative, and capable of astonishing feats when others refused to believe. The galaxy would remember this day. Humans had tamed the wild AI ship. They had survived impossible odds, and they had shown everyone that humanity could rise above expectations, even among the stars. For the first time in history, humans were no longer merely a species among many. They were a force that demanded respect. And the wild AI ship, now fully healed, fully obedient, and fully alive in harmony with its human captain, would carry that message across the galaxy. The stars twinkled silently, distant witnesses to the quiet revolution that had begun. And the human, calm, focused, and unafraid, prepared for the next step. The galaxy had seen the power of one human paired with extraordinary AI. Soon it would learn just how far humanity could go. And with that, the wild AI ship accelerated smoothly into the black void of space, fully functional, fully alive, and forever bound to the human who had earned its trust. The universe had been reminded that humans were never to be underestimated.